Hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly home workshop. I am your host, Terry Taylor, with the Tailored Realty team. Every Wednesday at 12:15, we bring you real estate topics on buying, selling, investing, just general home information. It's simple, practical, and easy to understand. We've been out of the loop for a couple of weeks. We got some much needed rest. We were on vacation, so sorry about the episode. But we do have a new episode on today, as you saw, episode 20. We are talking about the home inspection, what every buyer should know, and this is a very important topic. So, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in. Again, we're going to be here for 15 minutes, so doesn't leave a whole lot of time for the pleasantries. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First thing I want you to see here is, let's look at this one. First of all, what is a home inspection and what it's not? Let's be clear on what a home inspection is. It's a professional evaluation of the home's visible systems and components. And here are some items or some things that the inspector looks at. One of the things you have to be real aware of is a home inspection doesn't tell you whether to buy the home. It gives you information so you can make an informed decision. And I believe you probably heard us say that on more than one occasion. We're all about making sure you make informed decisions. Certainly, there are things that we can see that come to our attention as soon as we get into the home. There are cosmetic things that'll jump right out at you. But what you want is you want a home inspector to give you the rundown. They're going to be very thorough. They have some great knowledge, and I think they're really kind of the jack of all trades, master of none concept. But they know exactly what they're looking at, and they know what they should call out. So, whereas the agent and the client, we're going to walk through the home. There'll be things like there'll be smells and like feeling whether or not the AC or the heat is working, those kind of things that'll jump right out at you. We can tell those things on the surface. The home inspector is going to get in and really dig in and take a look at things that we can't see. They'll go in the crawl space, they'll go in the attic. And actually, we in one of our episodes of Taylor Talks, we actually interviewed a home inspector. Go back and check that out. Go to our YouTube channel. There's a Taylor Talks playlist. And certainly look up the video where we talk to an actual home inspector. They'll give you a lot of good insights, and they'll be able to tell you some of the things that they do when they're on a home inspection. But you can look at everything. You can look at roof, plumbing, HVAC, all the major systems. Those are the things you want to do during a home inspection. And again, the whole goal, the whole idea is so that you can make an informed decision. Let's see what we're going to check out on the next segment here. What an inspection is not, right? So every home, whether it's new or old, can have inspection items. Many buyers thinks if the inspection finds anything wrong, they shouldn't buy the house. That's not necessarily the case, okay? And if you look at the clipboard here, you see there's good, there's monitor, there's maintenance. Every home has a list, okay? And that's one thing I want you to understand. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's understanding. Understanding what it is you're getting into, understanding what it is you're going to be owning, okay? The real good detailed reports, they're color-coded. You can even summarize what the inspector found, and there'll be summary pages. A lot of times these summary pages you can hand to specific contractors. So if there's a section dedicated to HVAC, heating and air system, you can pull that out. And then you can talk to any inspectors or any contractors that you may know who can give you a better idea of, is this something that's going to be a long-term ongoing issue that you should get dealt with early? Is this something that you want to walk away from because it's going to be super expensive down the road, or it's a very near upcoming issue that you'll have to deal with? Those are some of the things that you want to be aware of, and just understand this is our philosophy. I don't care if you're doing a brand new home, like new construction, or if the home is 50 years old. It does not matter. we highly, highly recommend getting a home inspection done. In fact, one of the episodes of the weekly home workshop also talked about home inspections. That's how important these are. We're circling back around. I think it was like episode 5 or 6 when we were talking about inspections. But again, you can see the topic is reoccurring. It's going to come up. It'll probably come up a few more times because we can't stress enough that you need a home inspection. You don't want to skimp out on that. You're making in some cases, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars in purchases. Spend a few $100s, maybe even a thousand or so on all of the necessary inspections. It'll be money well spent, I promise you. Let's go ahead and look at the next section here, segment 3. The question is, should you attend the inspection? And quite frankly, the more you know about your home today, the better you'll take care of it tomorrow. So short answer is, yeah. If you can do it, if you can swing it, if your job, if your schedule allows for you to be there, 100% you want to be there. So the way we do it at Tailored Realty, Yolanda and I, technically we divide and conquer. But if I can't be there, Yolanda generally is going to be there. And if the client can't be there, generally we want to be there. Certainly not to insert ourselves or we don't make any claims that we're better than the inspector or we're going to tell the inspector what to do. But we're there to see exactly what's wrong with the property, make sure we get that information to you as the buyer if for some reason you can't be there. But if you're there, you get to see a lot of the things like some things people don't even realize, like where's your breaker box? I mean, that's something that's important. And a lot of times some homeowners, may not even be thinking about that stuff. For your water supply, is there a shutoff valve that you can cut off the water to the house? Certainly at each station, like every faucet, every sink, each of the toilets have their own individual shutoffs. But do you have a whole house shutoff, like for water supply? You want to be sure you're aware of those kind of things. Where are the major components in your home? Is there anything in the attic? Is there anything in the crawl space? Any kind of heating and air components or systems tucked away that you don't know about? And the beauty of the inspection is, generally speaking, for the most part nowadays, inspectors, they're taking the digital photography and instantly you can see where things are and what condition they're in. So yes, to answer the question, if and when you can swing it, we highly recommend that you attend the home inspection. So, and quite frankly, we'll try to steer clear of answering any questions about the home inspection because we are not licensed inspectors, right? It's not our wheelhouse. We know just enough to be dangerous, and we know just enough to kind of steer you in the direction of what kind of questions you should be asking of the inspector that is checking over your home. So when you can swing it, yes, you want to be at the home inspection if you can. And I've yet to run across an inspector that says, I don't want the client there. All the good ones definitely encourage the clients to be there if they can. Probably a good practice would be to write down anything that you see and maybe even save the questions for the end. But when in doubt, ask the inspector how they want to field questions. Do you want me to stop you in the middle of the inspection, or do you want me to wait until you summarize things at the end and ask my questions then? But best practices are going to vary from inspector to inspector. Right, let's take a look at that next section. So what happens after inspection? Okay, there's several things that we can do. And let's look at remember the home inspection or that report actually starts the conversation. It doesn't automatically end the transaction. A lot of times you think, oh my gosh, this is going to kill a deal. Well, inspectors do not really kill deals. If they're doing their job, they're showing you what deficiencies there are, where the strengths are. They even tell you, what's good about what's going on. So the next things will be, are we going to move forward as is? Will we request repairs? Maybe a credit? renegotiate another solution, or ultimately say, nope, it's too much and we don't want to move forward. Okay, so these are some of the things that happen after the home inspection. So, again, don't be afraid. You're getting this. This is information that you're going to be using to make an informed decision. So, certainly at the end of the inspection, those are some of the things that you'll find. So, we're back at negotiations. When the inspection is over, we're back at negotiations. Maybe everything looks so good that you're ready to move forward as is. That is one option. There may be some things that you want to address or ask the seller to address and say, hey, look, here's what came out during the home inspection. Do you think this is something that you can take care of before I move into the property? And you want to let them know, hey, this is a deal breaker for us. If you're not willing to, or you don't want to do this, then we'll probably, walk away. So you're back in that negotiation piece of it. Sometimes even in lieu of or instead of repairs, you can request price reduction. You know what? I know the contract price is X amount. I'm willing to handle some of the repairs that I see needs to be done. But if you could reduce the house by this much, 5,000, 10,000, whatever the price tag is, I'd be willing to move forward and handle these costs, once I get in out of pocket. That's an option. You can come up with other agreements. There may be other creative ways to, figure out the home inspection and how you can move forward. So there's no cookie cutter way to do things. And of course, the final option is there's too much going on here. This is going to be too much of a project, and it's not something I'm willing to do at this time. So, you know what? I'm going to move on to the next listing or to the next home. And you get to walk away. The beauty of that is all you're out of is the cost of the inspection. Okay. You're not out of, hundreds of thousands of dollars, stuck in a situation where you have to come out of pocket with a whole lot more money to get the home where you want it. Now, if you don't mind a project, or if it's something that you're looking forward to doing, that's one thing. But if you're looking to move in without any kind of additional, projects or things to do, you want it to be pretty much move-in ready, then the inspection time is what's going to help you understand whether or not you can do that moving forward. Okay. And lastly, let's take a look at Terry's take. And just a little quote. One thing I've learned over the years is that buyers sometimes become overwhelmed, especially if you got like a 40-page inspection. The key isn't the number of pages, it's understanding which items are routine maintenance, which are repairs, and which deserve further attention. And of course, that's where having a real estate professional comes in hand. We're not afraid to ask the inspector the pertinent questions, the questions that need to be answered to make sure, hey, is this something we really want to move forward with? But again, it's based on your tolerance as a buyer, what it is that you're willing to put up with. Okay, so we're not here to tell you you have to take this or this is easy or that's again, my tolerance, what I might call easy, you might call a major headache, or what I might call a major headache, you might be willing to deal with. So again, buyers are like fingerprints. They're all different. And your tolerance for what you find on the inspection report is going to vary. So, hopefully you understand a little bit better now what you should know about the home inspection. It is not a deal breaker. It doesn't kill deals. It reveals issues. And it just gives you a better idea if this is something you want to move forward with. Once again, we don't force our buyers to do anything. And there is no strong arming, but we highly suggest, almost to aggravation, that they get an inspection done. If they decline an inspection, we're going to ask them to reevaluate their decision. That's how important it is. It's not something that you should be, for lack of a better term, you shouldn't penny pinch on the home inspection if you can help it, right? Everybody's situation is different. But you don't want to go in blindly not knowing what's going on with the home. And certainly, honestly, this is a topic we could take each component and we could talk about it for hours. But again, this is just a quick 15-minute segment. So get a qualified home inspector, somebody that's got their credentials in order. Spend the money, especially on things that you have concerns about. And quite frankly, understand how the report is lined up and what it's showing you at the very end. Okay. What's routine maintenance? What's major repairs? What's something that I can deal with and won't be, what's cosmetic, right? What are things that really aren't that major of a concern? Hey, hope this has been helpful. Once again, we're not splitting the atom. These aren't overly complicated topics, but we do want to just kind of quick 15-minute lunch break, hit a few topics to make you think about the decisions you're making when you're purchasing or selling your home. And if this has been helpful, you may have looked at this and said, I knew all of that, Terry. And that's great and that's fine. But share this with somebody who may not know. We want to help make sure everybody's informed about the things that they're doing when it's time to purchase their home. And of course, if you're not dealing with a real estate agent, Yolanda and I at the Tailored Realty team would be glad to help you through the process. We're here for you. We're here to help. And certainly we look forward to hearing from you soon. Join us next Wednesday at 12:15 for the next episode of the Weekly Home Workshop. This has been Terry Taylor with the Tailored Realty team. Thanks for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Stay safe. Have a good one.